Don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking my heart. Blast from the past. Remember on the Transfer Dailies I used to sing all those years ago when we were a little bit of a smaller channel. Probably best that I leave it back to that. But here we are with the latest Manchester United transfer news, where we give you all the real fan opinion on the latest Manchester United transfer news. And I tell you what, that I totally agree that some of you would say, why are you doing transfer news? We're fed up. We're fed up, Mark. Liverpool have won the Champions League. City are bloody brilliant. We've not done any transfers. Madrid are doing stuff. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I tell you what, I haven't, transfer daily, but there are days when we haven't done it. I'll down tools with all of you if I think it's worth it, but there is stuff to report. First of all, I just want to clear something up about Ligt. There is a Ligt transfer deadline. There's been so many different stories about Ligt. A lot of it coming from fake in the nose, but some of it coming from Spanish, Catalonian outlets, radio stations. And the bit of a myth that has been set is that Barcelona had set a sort of deadline on De Ligt having to make his mind up. They've made their offer. They feel that, all right, it might not be the best financial offer, but it's the best for his career, and he should choose Barcelona. And there was some talk over the last few days that deadline was set for, this week. It's a myth. It's a myth. The deadline for De Ligt is invisible. There is no deadline set. Barcelona have basically said, we're not going any higher, you should choose us, and that's the offer on the table, take it or leave it. United, presumably, if we are in for him, have made a better offer, and somebody else who nobody actually knows because their odds are pretty crap, PSG, Juventus, Man City, Liverpool, whoever, have maybe made an offer as well, maybe Bayern Munich. But the finish line, so to speak, although it may be extended, it might be one of those races where it's neck and neck or extra time, is going to be next Monday, because that's when the Nation League is over. Holland play England on Thursday. There's a third versus fourth place. What's that all about on Sunday afternoon? And then there's the final on Sunday night. So come Monday morning, those international players will be set free into a field of freedom where somebody will be hunting them if they want them, and others will be free to go on holiday to Benidorm. So De Ligt next week will be in the hands of Mino Raiola. Nothing naked or anything like that, makes your stomach turn. And that's when the decision will be made. Now, maybe De Ligt has already made his mind up. Maybe he's off to sunny Spain and Barcelona. But the official announcement won't be till next week. But there is no there is no deadline other than August the 8th for Manchester United, and I think it's August the 31st for Spain. There is no, you've got to make a decision by this point from Barcelona, because at the end of the day, they're making a weaker offer in relation to financial package, but they feel that it's the best offer. And, maybe it is. But what I would also say as well is, and I just must shout Jaughty Devil, who does all the graphics for us. He did say this to me at the weekend, and he's very, very right. He said, when you look at Barcelona, yes, going to Barcelona is great now because they've got Messi and everything like that. But when you look at that Barcelona team, and you look at what Real Madrid's doing, but when you look at that Barcelona team, yeah, they're a big club. They've got a nice history, but their history is not as good as Real Madrid's. Their recent history is pretty good. And a lot of that's to do with Messi. But in 3 years' time, Messi's gone. And in 3 years' time, De Ligt's 22. Well, Messi's probably not gone in 3 years, but he's going to start to drop off. And De Ligt will be 22. De Ligt's not going to be in his prime for another 6 years. In 6 years, Messi's pretty much finished. If he's still playing about, he might be doing it in the MLS, but he's finished. Who's coming through for Barcelona? Because Busquets will be gone, Piqué will be gone, Rakitic will be gone. There's a lot of Suarez will be gone. So they've got to build a whole new team there. And so whilst the immediate impact of Barcelona is interesting for De Ligt, and it requires immediate Champions League football for him, which ticks a box, the Manchester United project may, and this is a big may, this is a Theresa May, it could be a shit May, it may be a more suitable challenge to go to now and build with Manchester United than rather go to Barcelona, have a couple of years success and have to build again. So we'll wait and see. I mean, I'm speculating about De Ligt there, but ultimately what I wanted to say is there's a few myths floating around, and this is what happens when you've got fake accounts and people bullshitting about Barcelona setting a deadline. They haven't set a deadline. They put their deal down. It's now for De Ligt to decide. And as I've always said, De Ligt's the one with the power, which means Mino Raiola is the one with the power. And I think that Pogba thing could be quite interesting, because if Pogba wants to go, Mino Raiola may well say to United, if you want De Ligt, you're going to have to let Pogba go. But I've always said that. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, make sure you subscribe if you're new, by the way, because we're very close to 462,000 subscribers, which which would be great. Let's talk about other options and what's going on in the media. First of all, we've got the Hotometer back. It's back. Give it a like. Give the video a like. Goldbridge Hotometer's back. So how does that work? Basically, it's the top 7 transfers for me at the moment, ranked on percentage out of 10. So I give it... Daniel James is a 90% chance he's going to sign for us, as we discussed last night. Apparently that's very, very close now. Bruno Fernandes, touched on him last night, not literally, that would be filth. 60% chance he's going to come to United, and I still think it's worth keeping him up there. Yes, Man City could beat us to him, but we're in for him. We know we're in for him if we get him. 60% is fair enough. Then we got Koulibaly, Mounier, Manolas, Bale, De Ligt. Bergwijn was on there. Bergwijn is gone now because Bergwijn, I think, was a brilliant right wing option for us. Steven Bergwijn from PSV. I think it was a really good, interesting option for us. Early 20s, that potential to go to a better club and develop. Tick, 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 tick. His agent has come out and said he's going to Italy, so there's not much chance of him coming. Well, he could still come to England, I suppose, but I always felt that United might go for him, but clearly he looks like he's going to Italy, which is weird, isn't it? All these players seem to be going to Italy because Lozano plays for PSV and he's been touted to go to Italy as well. Both wingers, both would be good signings for United, but both off to Italy by the sounds of it. Gareth Bale, worry your pants off about Gareth Bale. But yeah, we are odds on to sign Bale. We know this. We're absolutely nailed odds on to sign Gareth Bale. And I think everybody knows that Real Madrid want rid of Bale. But the problem is, it's a bit like us with Lukaku, where I was talking last night. They want to get rid of Bale for good money, but who's going to pay good money for Gareth Bale? There's one plonker who might, and we all know who that is. And that worries me that Manchester United might just step forward and take Gareth Bale thinking, yay, he's a shirt seller. He's a shirt seller. Come on down. Come and get on with Alexi. We can't sell him either, but you can play at piano together and have a great time, and we'll sell a few shirts in Wales. So I do worry about Bale. I'm trying to just close my mind off to it because, yeah, I don't mind Gareth Bale. I mean, I don't know why he ties his hair up to cover up a bald patch, but I do think that it would be a bad signing for United. But that's my Hotometer at the moment. There's no, you can talk Wan-Bissakas, you can talk Alderweireld's, but at the moment I'm happy with my top 7 there, ranked on the percentage. And Daniel James, I think, will sign very soon. And I hope that deal gets done. What I don't like about Manchester United transfers, and I don't know what you lot feel is, I don't like the way we know we're signing someone for like 4 weeks before we sign them. And I know Daniel James had the death of his father, and maybe it would have been done sooner if that hadn't happened. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it was always going to happen a month later. I just wish one day United would go like Fabinho at Liverpool. They were linked to him at 8 o'clock. They'd signed him by 9 o'clock at night. I'd love United to do that because that's when you get the excitement. It's like when Daniel James signs, or Fred, or Delo. They're signing when they actually do sign. It'd be nice just to get a bit of excitement. Anyway, moving away from the Hotometer, get your comments in below if you disagree with anything there, or you think there's a higher percentage of anybody else. Let me talk about, we started on De Ligt, let me talk about centre-back options out there, because they tend to be a little bit limited, because obviously I think we were always in for Koulibaly, and I think United would love to sign Koulibaly. It's gone very quiet on him since the Ancelotti comments that he'll be at Napoli next season, and I think the general consensus is that Napoli will retain Koulibaly next season. Koulibaly himself has been very quiet, and of course he's the key factor in all of this. He has changed his agent since he signed the new contract. Is he unsettled? There is an African Nations Cup this summer as well, which wouldn't be ideal for him signing for United anyway, because he'd be very tired by the time he comes back. So there's a lot of things to suggest it won't happen, but it did reappear in the Italian papers yesterday. Corriere dello Sport, I think it was, basically saying that United had an £85 million offer or something like that, but it's not really something that interests Napoli because, Koulibaly is the best defender in Serie A. There's been contradicting reports about Koulibaly over the last 2 to 3 weeks in relation to offers that United have made. Apparently we've offered 100 million, 90 million. It's interesting that it's still floating around there. 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was a lot of people. I had people messaging me who, you'd be surprised. I sound like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You'd be surprised at the quality of source who was contacting me about this. But pretty well-known people in the Manchester United sort of journalism world, I suppose, saying that United were in for Koulibaly. So I've got no doubts to say that we were in for Koulibaly, but I just don't think if that club doesn't want to sell the player, you can't get him, and I think that's the problem with Real Madrid and Pogba. So, but Harry Maguire's interesting. He is another opportunity. But then it was in the English papers yesterday. I think I saw it in the Sun actually. So maybe take it with a pinch of salt. That Leicester have set... Well, no, I retract that. Let's be fair to the Sun, and not a lot of people are, but it was in the Sun, £85 million price tag on Harry Maguire. Which, you can say it's in the Sun, it's a load of nonsense, but actually, I think Leicester would want 85 million for Harry Maguire, which then begs the question, well, if it's 85 million for Harry Maguire, who's 26, and it's 120 million for Koulibaly, who's 27, I think the difference in quality between Harry Maguire and Koulibaly probably is 40 million. So maybe you should just go and spend 120 million on Koulibaly, because I like Harry Maguire and I think he'd be a good signing for United, but he ain't an 85 million pound centre back. But because he's English, because he's under contract, because he's at Leicester and they don't need to sell, and because Van Dijk cost 75 million from Southampton a year and a half ago, I think Leicester have got well within their rights to say, yeah, bidding starts at 80 million, which is probably a little bit too expensive for Harry Maguire, but give us your thoughts below in relation to him. And if we don't get Maguire and we don't get De Ligt and we don't get Koulibaly, we're back where we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about who our centre-back options realistically are going to be, because we desperately, desperately need a top-class centre-back. And United cannot this summer go, well, we tried for De Ligt and he chose Barcelona. We tried for Koulibaly and Napoli wouldn't sell him. We thought about Harry Maguire, but he ain't worth 85 million. Well, so we stuck with Jones and Smalling. No. Manchester United are one of the richest clubs in the world. That's not an excuse. You go hard, you go ruthless. Sounds like something dodgy there, but you go hard and you get the deal done, because that is essential to what Manchester United are. I said this on Twitter yesterday, and I don't know whether many people agree with me. A lot of us talk about United need 10 transfers, and yeah, we probably do. But I tell you what, if you stuck Van Dijk in our centre-back position and you put Kante in our CDM position, that's 2 players. I guarantee we would be at least fighting, we would be 3rd place. We may even be closer to Man City and Liverpool. Those 2 players would make a huge difference to our team. Kante as the CDM would give our midfield an absolute kick up the arse, because he's brilliant. And Van Dijk as the centre-back is impenetrable. He's like ribbed condoms. You can't get through it. So I can't see... Yes, we need 10 transfers, but the right transfers are more important. And United can't steer away from, we need a centre-back. We couldn't get one, but let's get a right winger, 2 midfielders and a right-back. No, you've got to get a centre-back, because no matter what else you do, if you don't get a top-quality centre-back, the same problem exists. And that's why they can't turn away from players because they're outpriced. That's you buy in the market you buy in. And if there was 20 top-class centre-backs out there, and most of those clubs who've got them were in financial difficulties, you probably could get one for 20 million. But at the moment, there's 2 or 3. None of those clubs really want to sell. You've got to overpay. You've got to overpay. We must come out with a centre-back. Definitely have to come out with a centre-back. No messing about with regards to that one. But, whether we will or not, because beyond Koulibaly, Maguire and De Ligt, who is there realistically? I like Ruben Diaz at Benfica. I do like him, actually. So we spoke about him before. James Rodriguez occupies the middle lane. I know it says Bayern Munich next to him. He's officially a Real Madrid player. He will not be a Bayern Munich player anymore, which is why I'd left their badge there. 2-year loan with an option to buy for £40 million. Reports from Germany yesterday that Rodriguez doesn't want to stay at Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich will be letting him go back to Real Madrid. I don't think he ever really got on with Zidane anyway, so I don't see his future at Real Madrid. Another headache for Zidane, another headache in the same way that Gareth Bale is. James Rodriguez, George Mendes client. What price Manchester United moving for James Rodriguez? Now, I think I'm in the minority here. I think I would be... You'd see me back to the day Schweinsteiger signed, where I lost total reason and didn't really think that Schweinsteiger was injury prone, and past it. I just thought Bastian Schweinsteiger, one of my favourite ever players, is coming to Manchester United, and I saw past his midriff and thought, yeah, he's brilliant. If we sign James Rodriguez, I'll do the same. You won't be able to shut me up for one double left foot and James is here, because we've all got a weak spot. This is what I always say about great leaders. I'm not a great leader, but you know what I mean. Everybody's got a weakness. Everyone's got a kryptonite, and James Rodriguez is mine. And if United signed James Rodriguez, I'm smiling as I talk, because I just like James Rodriguez. And I know loads of you are going, oh, he's inconsistent, he's lazy, he's not that good, he's a waste of time, he's approaching 30, you shouldn't get him. And to all of you, I say, very logical conversation there, but I'm not listening. All I can see is James Rodriguez's left foot curling it in the top corner. No more Marcus Rashford on free kicks. a decent corner taker. And what the most important thing with James Rodriguez is that he is only 27. I think he's 28 this summer. So, and the great thing about him is that Bayern Munich had a 40 million buy clause in him. So we can't be paying more than £40 million for him when that's what Bayern Munich were going to pay for him this summer as after the 2-year loan. So £40 million for James Rodriguez, you'd want to do it. Do I think United will do it? Do I bloody heck? I'm convinced that there is some issue with George Mendes and Manchester United, and that's why we don't sign any George Mendes clients. And I think it goes back to the fax machine with De Gea, who's one of his clients. And I think also the way Mourinho left, I just don't think there's good relationships between United and George Mendes, although I've read that there is. But I mean, why didn't we get Fabinho, George Mendes client? You know, I just don't think that there is. I could see James Rodriguez going to Wolves and being a bloody brilliant signing for them, to be honest, because George Mendes has got a good relationship with them. So we'll have to see, but I would take James Rodriguez, and I really would. Anyway, please do smash a like on the video. Lots discussed there. Apparently, there's no transfer news to discuss. I think sometimes when it gets into a lull, you can get into real tangents, and I've really enjoyed the show this morning. I think it's probably been one of the funniest ones we've done. So smash a like on video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I shall see you at 8 o'clock tonight unless something happens in the day today. Thanks for watching, everyone.